What's going on? It's your boy Tunnel Vision. Inoue is on his way to ESPN in Top Rank. It's kind of weird to me, man. Kind of like all these, certain fighters. Like the zone's supposed to be the ish, and it's supposed to you think that they'd be able to retain all these fighters, and they seem to start to kind of have lost some major fighters lately. Beterbiev, who's now unified champion. Um, they lost him. He's on ESPN right now. And then another fighter that they lost is Inoue. Now, Inoue, he was on there because he was in that World Boxing, whatever thing that they had going on, where he just won against Donaire in a hard fight and got the Ali trophy. But still, you would have thought that they would have some kind of conversations going on with him, whereas like and gave him like some kind of big, huge, major offer. Where after getting that belt, he'd be willing to stay on the zone. But I guess they must not think too much of him, I guess, because they didn't really promote his last fight, which is crazy to me. And they had it like in the middle of the week on a Wednesday, like super early in the morning, which was cool for me because I was able to watch it, driving to one of the jobs that I had on that particular day. So it was pretty cool. I was able to do it. For me, it worked because I was up early as hell. But in general, I don't know what was even the point. That was just bad, man, especially for the ending of a tournament like that. Basuda, man. Complete basuda. But, he won his fight. He did his thing. And, I will say one thing, though. Much respect to him for pulling out the victory. But this whole pound for pound number one talk, dead. Ended. He's definitely no number one pound for pound fighter. Going life and death, basically with the likes of Donaire, who is basically past his prime, old. You're number one pound for pound fighter. You're not supposed to be getting hit with the type of shots he was getting hit with. You're top five pound for pound. You're not supposed to be getting hit with the type of shots you hit with. And I think he's one of those fighters where he's a good fighter, but they started giving him a lot more credit than he deserved very, very early, especially due to the low tier competition he was facing. I don't care if they had belts or not. It was a very low level competition he's been facing. And Donaire is the best fighter that he's probably faces in his entire career. And we saw what happened in that situation. It was a tough fight. The one judge who had it 114, 113 for Inoue, he had it right. The other two judges don't know what the F they were looking at, but I knew that was going to happen. I was saying it off the rip. Donaire's going to need a knockout if he wants to win that fight. He's going to need a knockout because he's not going to get the decision. It was a really close fight, but the dude showed heart, he showed grit, and he did what he needed to do to pull out the victory. Even if there actually was fair scoring, which that one judge did have it at 114, 113. But now he's out of there. He's off to ESPN, and he's off to working with Top Rank. And that's bad news for Terrence Crawford. It's bad news for Terrence Crawford. And it's like, my question now is, how much disrespect exactly is Terrence Crawford willing to take? How much exactly is he okay with getting pissed on by ESPN and Top Rank before he leaves them? Because at first, he was on there. We saw how he got his undisputed belts, got all four belts. He's sitting there, spectacular victory, knockout. Andre Ward sitting there and just getting completely disrespected. Now it's talking about how, how him and Andre Ward are fighting for the number two spot. Andre Ward just came off from knocking out Kovalev, who was top two, top three pound for pound in the world, and went up in weight to do it. And now they're talking about how Lomachenko's number one pound for pound, and these two guys, they're fighting for the number two spot. Totally disrespecting him in there. And then how hardcore ESPN and Top Rank has been going as far as trying to promote Lomachenko. During the fight between Terrence Crawford and what's his name? And damn it, the British dude that keeps getting knocked out all the goddamn time. Amir Khan. I swear, all the promotions on that whole damn night was about Lomachenko. Everything about on that whole night was about Lomachenko, 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 Lomachenko. Say that 3 times. Total, complete disrespect to that man. And they've been doing it. They'll tell you, hey, Lomachenko's the greatest since Ali. I mean, Terrence Crawford, he's a good fighter, but Lomachenko's the greatest. He's the greatest since Ali. And then after that, they signed, Tyson Fury. And they invested a load of money into Tyson Fury. He has a huge mega deal. He's getting paid more money than Terence Crawford. And Terence Crawford is the person that brings in the highest viewerships for that platform, by the way, on a consistent basis. And he brings in the highest gates as well. There's a reason why he's fighting in Madison Square Garden, the regular room, the big boy room, and why Lomachenko fights in the little room, okay, in the theater room. There's a reason for that, okay? There's a reason for that. But doesn't matter. They still piss on him and disrespect him. They put all this money into Tyson Fury, everything into him, from the production, from all the different shows, the platforms they talk about him, to even the investment in the actual events. It's been all about Tyson Fury. Heavy Tyson Fury. And now Inoue signs to ESPN Top Rank. Inoue, who had already been building up before he was even even before the tournament was over, because I guess they already had a deal in place, I guess. But before the tournament was even over, they've been just all about Inoue. He's pound for pound number one. Steve Kim, he's pound for pound. I believe he's the best fighter in the world. They've already started the same thing they did with Lomachenko, the same thing they're doing with Tyson Fury. Now they're already started doing it with Inoue. And once Inoue hits the scene, it's going to be all about Inoue. They're looking at it like, hey, Inoue's, and he could be the next Manny Pacquiao. That could be our next Manny Pacquiao. So they're going to promote the hell out of him. He's going to be fighting, I guess next year he's supposed to fight twice in the United States, where they're going to invest a good amount of money and time into him. And then he's supposed to have another fight in Japan for next year. So he has 3 fights, I believe, next year they're going to try to do, which is going to get that top rank diet. He's going to be fighting some low tier competition. Don't expect him to fight anybody that means anything anytime soon. Okay, those days are over. Down there is the toughest fighter he will have faced in the next probably 3 years. And it's just going to be all about trying to talk people into thinking that he's a star. But he is a great fighter, though. The dude has grit. And I'm not necessarily disrespecting him directly. I'm disrespecting everything around him and what's going to be happening around him. But him as a fighter himself, he's a good fighter. He's not what they claim him to be. He ain't no pound for pound number one or anything like that. But he's a good fighter. And he has heart. And he has grit. So you got to respect that. But how much disrespect is Terence Crawford going to be willing to take? Because they're about to pile on this shit. They're about to pile it on to a whole other level. You know, and because they're not giving him any good fights. You know, Bob Emmons already said, hey, he's not investing any kind of real money unless it's with Earl Spence. He's not investing money in no real money in no Danny Garcia. He's not going to give him a serious offer. He's not giving Sean Porter a serious offer. He's not giving any of these guys any serious. He's not going to pay for Ugas. He's not. You know, because Ugas can expose some shit. So he's not even going to pay for that. He ain't going to pay for none of that. So that's the question. How long is Terence Crawford gonna stay in this ish? Maybe he's okay with it though. That's what I'm personally thinking. Some people are alright with it. Some people are okay with being disrespected and pissed on, as long as they get a check. But it is what it is, man. It's about to get piled on. It's gonna get piled on real heavy. Like, subscribe, share. I'm out.